Hello and welcome to Super League Triathlon Women's Highlights, brought to you by Tri Coaching. My name is Geordie. I'm a huge triathlon fan, here to spread the love of this epic super series. Honestly, it is the most exciting event on the triathlon calendar. The caliber of these athletes is just off the charts. A quick reminder, we actually have our own triathlon and cycling podcast. It's called the Get Fast Podcast by Tri Coaching. You can go check it out at the link in the description. But let's get into the race. I was on the edge of my seat this entire thing. And today on home soil in London, the Great Britain athletes absolutely dominated, taking over race 1 of the Super League. I won't go through the entire format. I did that in the men's highlight video if you want to go check it over there. Otherwise, just pause the video right here to see how the format is unfolding for the 3 stages of today's race. As we head to the start line of stage 1, the women all opted for no wetsuit. They actually went before the men. Jess Learmonth said in an interview it was super warm, so it felt crazy to be in a wetsuit. The women obviously a little bit tougher than the men on this day. And of course, speaking of Jess Learmonth, no surprises here. She's first out of the water, and that will be a theme for the entire race. But Lopez managed to get her by a couple of seconds in transition and steal the short chute ahead of her. That is a tongue twister for me, short chute. That's this thing right here. If you've been hiding under a rock, it gives you a huge advantage of the final run of the day. The 3 leaders, Learmonth, Lopez and GTB, rode smart and solid and stayed away from the big pack behind, with Lopez once again coming out of T2 in the lead, meaning she picked up the short chute for a second time, which would be a huge advantage. And I say would be because keep an eye out for Lopez for the rest of the race. GTB, just one of my favourite runners to watch. Just imagine if she didn't puncture in Tokyo. I think she really would have been close to a gold medal chance. She puts a little gap into them here, and then she puts a big gap. Meanwhile, behind, the unofficial 5-kilometre world record holder, Beth Potter, showed her strength in the run, but was it going to be enough to catch GTP? In fact, it wasn't. Let's check the results from stage 1, and as I said, it was just Great Britain dominance rounding out the top 5. What happened to Lopez? I didn't see exactly, but she fell some 20 seconds back and out of the top 10 on the run leg. So then we have a mass start for stage 2. This is a run, bike, swim, and look at the chaos here. Some runners had just 1 minute to get themselves ready between stages and missed the start, and we ended up having a few athletes eliminated because of it. That's how cutthroat this is here. We have 20 of the best triathletes in the world, and if you're off the back even a little, you'll get seriously spat out and potentially eliminated, which happened to a few girls. So the pack stays mostly together on this first lap, and of course, pay attention to the random team points allocated. Again, you know how I feel about those team points. If you don't know how I feel, well, it's a little bit like Oprah. You get a point, you get a point, everyone gets a point in some kind of weird way, except for the rhinos. This was just shaping up to be a great race. Multiple lead changes, Beth Potter up the front for most of the run, but the French woman Leonie Perriot says, I'm not going to let the Brits have this all to themselves, and takes the lead heading into transition. But look who comes over the top, none other than GTB. She gets a little break for herself out of transition and is solo ahead of the pack behind, but the power of Katie Zaferes comes through as she reels in GTB. And notice Jess Learmonth is in this group as well, and she actually had the fastest bike split, as she had a couple more seconds to make up, which is dangerous because we know how good a swimmer she is. And at the end of this bike leg, a race deciding moment happens. Here GTB has a crash. She thinks she got her wheel caught or something strange happened, and she comes off and actually runs to the end of T2, but she's too far back at this point. Like I said, the speed of these races is cutthroat. Honestly, look at it though, it's just mayhem. You've got 100 things to think about, your legs are concrete, and you just penguin it into the water and swim for your life. So what did we say? If Jess is with them at the start of the water, then she'll come out first, and that's exactly what she did, and she takes the win for stage 2. As we know that every second counts at the end of stage 2, because wherever you finish, that combined with your stage 1 time is how you will start stage 3. So this takes us to stage 3. What do the start times look like? Well, GTB has lost a lot of time after that crash, but still only has to start 6 seconds back because of her strong stage 1 performance. Regardless, it's still British domination on the podium. We'll see how they go holding their lead in stage 3. And as you would hope, Learmonth and Holland hold their gap over GTB on the bike, as it's 2 versus 1, and they enter the swim, just the 2 of them on their own, and Jess ends up with a huge power gap over Vicky Holland after the swim. She puts 15 seconds into her, setting herself up for a win on the run as long as she can hold her form. And also remember, there are no short chutes because Lopez took them both for herself and then decided to get herself eliminated. I've been a little bit harsh on Lopez. Like I said, this is a cutthroat race. It's just unfortunate she got both short chutes and they couldn't be used in the end. It's always exciting. So coming into the bell lap, take a look at Zaferes. She started 16 seconds behind GTB and has closed that gap. Can she make it onto the podium? Don't forget GTB has crashed, and this race is so fast that she hasn't had a second to stop and think about it. In the end, Jess Learmonth take a bow. It's an absolute demolishing. She's just putting more and more time into her rivals. Further behind, the British girls run a strong second lap, GTB taking out second, Vicky Holland holding on to third, with an all-British top 3, 4 Brits on the top 5. And honestly, these races are just so damn exciting, especially in the women's category. The competition is very even, and it could be anyone's day. We know that in any of these races over the next month, any one of these athletes could be on, which makes it so great to watch. And at the moment, in the men's, there seems to be some outstanding favourites, but I can't talk too soon. There are still 3 races to come over the next 3 weeks. Once again, next week we head to Munich, where we will really see who the strong athletes are. It's the equalizer format, meaning it's pretty much a time trial over this super sprint distance for stage 1, followed by a race in stage 2. But the starting positions for stage 2 and time gaps are determined by your time trial results from stage 1. So I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait for it. I hope you enjoyed this highlights video, and I'll see you next time.